Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do my September in and out. What is time? What is fall? It is like coming at me with a freight train, and I can't keep track of what day it is, let alone what month it is or any of that. But so we're going to do a little haul and a little unhaul. If you haven't seen one of these videos, I'm going to tell you everything I've been kind of collecting this month, as well as the few that I'm going to be getting off my shelf. It's definitely been imbalanced lately where I've been hauling more than I'm unhauling, but that's okay. We're going to be okay. I'm actually reading some of the books, so let's just get into it. So these first couple, our library did a summer reading challenge, as a lot of libraries did, and they give you a couple choices of books that you can choose once you complete it, or you can get a $10 gift card to bookshop.org. So I chose the bookshop.org, and so did my husband, and he said I could have his credit. So I got these two books, By Your Side by Casey West and Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. So I love Casey West, like just YA contemporary summary books. I love them. I love them in the winter. I love them in the summer. I love them all the time. And yet I don't have very many on my shelves. 5 years ago, my husband turned a certain number. It was a milestone birthday. I don't know if he wants me to tell you. But we went to Nashville because his favorite whiskey distillery is down there. So we went, in the Nashville area. So we went there, which means if you're in Nashville, you go to McKay's. So when we were at McKay's, I stocked up on a ton of YA contemporary books. For some reason, they had tons and they were cheap. So bought a ton of those, read them all. Now I have none. So I reloaded my shelves. I don't even really remember what these ones are about, but this one, By Your Side, Autumn Collins finds herself accidentally locked in the library for the entire weekend. She doesn't think things could get any worse, but that's before she realizes Dax Miller's locked in with her. Do I need to keep reading, you guys? Because for me, no. She doesn't know much about Dax except that he's trouble. There's rumors about the fight he was in, his reputation, So I don't know. Sounds great. And then this one, Listen to Your Heart, is about talking to other people isn't Kate Bailey's favorite activity. So when her best friend convinces Kate to join their high school's podcast, Kate's not expecting to be chosen as the host. Giving advice on the air, impossible. But to Kate's surprise, she turns out to be pretty good at hosting. Then the podcast gets a call from an anonymous guy asking for advice about his unnamed crush. And suddenly Kate finds that while doling out wisdom to others may be easy, following your own advice is tougher than it looks. So, sounds good. I am excited about it. These next 3 or 4 are from the publishers. So thank you so much. Any publisher who I work with is just the best ever, and I am so grateful. Like, it is such a day maker, so much joy that they are so generous in giving me these to review. So the first one is The Sunflower, on the possibilities and limits of forgiveness. This is about Nazi soldiers. So while imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp, Simon Wiesenthal was taken one day from his work detail to the bedside of a dying member of the SS. Haunted by the crimes in which he had participated, the soldier wanted to confess and obtain absolution from a Jew. Faced with the choice between compassion and justice, silence and truth, Wiesenthal had said nothing. But even years after the war had ended, he wondered, had he done the right thing? What would you have done if you were in his place? Sounds so interesting. So interesting. Next is Me Without You by Kelly Rimmer. So she is one of my go-to historical fiction authors. This one is, it says, for fans of Jojo Moyes, not a fan, but also Colleen Hoover, who I love, comes a stunning, unforgettable story of how love can break your heart and heal it. Callum Roberts isn't looking for love when he sees a beautiful and barefoot woman at the local ferry, but as they banter over the waves, sparks fly and Callum falls hard. Little does he know that Lila McDonald has a secret, and she doesn't plan on returning his feelings anytime soon. But Callum isn't easy to resist, and soon she can't imagine life without him, until it becomes impossible to keep the truth from him any longer, and Lila is faced with a tough decision. Let Callum go, or hold on to him for what time she has left? So this is probably going to be The Fault in Our Stars, and I'm not ready for it. But this one also might not be historical fiction. I don't know. This one's for forever. I don't know if I talked about the publishers in the other two. Other one, actually. This one is No Time to Panic, How I Curbed My Anxiety and Conquered a Lifetime of Panic Attacks by Matt Gutman. This one, as an anxiety sufferer, I always like reading memoirs about people who suffer from anxiety, and especially if they can overcome it, great. There's lots of praise for it on the back. I'm seeing if I recognize anybody. These are MDs, and all that kind of stuff. The author of 10% Happier, which is like an app that my dad uses a lot, is also blurbed on the back. So anyway, this is from Penguin. So thank you so much to them. And I hope it'll be helpful to me and anybody else. Next is Where's Anne Frank by Ari Folman. And this is like a graphic novel in the middle of the night at the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. And a magnificent thunderbolt has just struck the building and shattered the protective glass in which the most famous diary in the history is displayed. Magically, Anne's imaginary friend Kitty comes to life. At first, Kitty doesn't know that 75 years have passed, and she has no clue why Anne is not in the house or what has become of the 7 other inhabitants of the secret annex. So this one, let me open it up. Kind of comic, graphic novel-y. I'm really excited about it. I am in my graphic novel comic era for sure. Really excited about this, and yeah, can't wait to try it. So that is everything from the publishers. And then my book of the month book. So we've got You Again by Kate Goldeck. This one is the romance choice, which is not normally what I choose, but this one sounded really good. So this is Ari and Josh. They first meet and the wrong kind of sparks fly. They hate each other instantly. So I really don't like enemies to lovers. Why did I pick this? I don't know. A free-spirited, struggling comedian, Ari likes to keep things casual and never sleeps over after hooking up. Josh, a born and bred New Yorker, has ambitious plans to take the culinary world by storm and find the one. They have absolutely nothing in common except they happen to be sleeping with the same woman. Ari and Josh never expected their paths to cross again, but years later, as they're both reeling from ego-bruising breakups, a chance encounter leads to a surprising connection. Friendship. Turns out spending time with your former nemesis is fun when you're too sad to hate each other. As friends without benefits, they find comfort in late-night Netflix binges, swiping through each other's online dating profiles, and bickering across boroughs until one night, the unspoken boundaries of their platonic relationship began to blur. So I am nervous about the steam factor, but holy moly, this is going to be a quick one. Really easy to read. I really like the exploration of male-female friendships and the Harry Met Sally situation, and I think that's why this is so appealing to me. And friends to lovers is a trope that I really like, so if we have a good chunk of their friendship, that sounds really good, so we'll see. And then the last one, of course, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. So this one I didn't get. This was a June pick, and I did not get it. And I have regretted it ever since because I can't get away from this book. People will not stop talking about it. So I think this is like a Willy Wonka, but for book lovers, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to know anything. I don't want to have expectations because I think it is fantasy-ish, but Willy Wonka-ish fantasy with books, maybe. So I don't know. I'm excited to try it and finally just know what the hype's about. This one's pretty small, so it'll be probably a pretty quick read. I'm not sure. Yeah, less than 300 pages. Sign me up. I can't wait. Plus, I just love this cover. So that's everything that I haul. Now let's go to the few that I'm unhauling. So we've got The Wedding Chapel by Rachel Hauck. This is just one in her wedding series, but they are a series of standalones. It has past and present timelines, and it was just kind of boring to me. There's a lot of connections between people and things, if you love her, maybe you'll like this, but it was just kind of blah for me. Next is Learning to Swim by Sarah J. Henry. Another one that was really just blah for me. It is about a woman who sees something fall off the incoming ferry. It's hers outgoing, I think, and she decides to jump off and see what it is, and it's a child, and so she takes in this child. The child is like a 5-year-old boy who only speaks French, so she can't communicate with him, and she wants to find his parents as opposed to getting the police involved, but she thinks that his parents are up to no good. This is it's categorized as a thriller. It kind of was. It's a lot of crime ring stuff. This is an autographed copy, so if you want it, it'll be on my Pango. Next is Assaulted Caramel by Amanda Flowers. This is the first in the Amish candy shop mystery, and this is a cozy mystery that was cute about an Amish candy shop. This woman, her grandfather owns it, and so she goes into town, and there's this real estate developer trying to buy up all the buildings, and he ends up dead, and so she's a suspect because he was really harassing her grandpa, so we'll see. Just okay for me. And then last is The Three Mrs. Parkers by Joe Medlicott. This is about 3 generations of women, and they all, by circumstance, have to live in the same house, and there's some bad blood between some of them, and so they have to figure it out. I will say that some of the characters kind of turn on a dime in this one, and that's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but overall it was enjoyable, just not something I'll read again. So If you're interested in any of these, they will be on my Pango shop, which is always linked down below. Otherwise, let me know which books should I pick up first that I hauled. Are there any that you're really looking forward to me reading? That's it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.